What is up, guys? Today I have a Tokyo Ghoul Recall to Exist video, and today I'm giving my full review of the game. A few days ago I gave my first thoughts of the game, and now I've played the game enough to have a full review on it. Before I get into it, I want to say that instead of doing a number grade for the game, I want to do a letter grade just because I feel like I can more accurately rate the game with the letter grade instead of a number scale from 1 to 10. I don't know, that's just me. I feel like I can rate the game better and more people will understand how the rating goes. The first thing that I want to talk about is character creation, which I said this in the previous video. It's bad, and I stick by that. It's the worst character creation I've ever seen in a video game. I'm not exaggerating with it. It's literally the worst I've ever seen in a video game. There's really hardly any customization options. The outfits are just like one color. You can only edit one color of it. You can't edit like pants. It's just like outfit. That's like the only option that you have for outfit. There's less than 10 hairstyle options. There's less than 10 of any option basically, or maybe there is 10. Either way, it's a very bad character customization. You can't edit the eye color, no skin color, no shoes. There's masks, but I don't really like, you can only edit one color, just like the outfit. It's a very bad customization, and honestly, with how bad it is, I don't even use the created character. I just use the real characters from the series. That's how bad the character creation is. If you guys thought Shinobi Striker had a bad character customization, then look at this game. This game is even worse. It's far worse than Shinobi Striker. Honestly, in my opinion, Shinobi Striker didn't even have that bad of a character customization, but this game is really bad. I think Jump Force had a good one, but anyway, this game is the worst character creation I've ever seen in a video game. The next thing that I want to talk about for the game is going to be story mode. Compared to other story modes in anime games, I don't think this one is too bad, and it's not too long either. So if you're like getting really bored of it, you just think it's a drag, just finish through with it. It's not that bad, and then you'll be able to unlock all the characters, because a lot of the characters you have to complete the main story at least one time. That's one of the achievements that you have to get to unlock most of the characters. So if you're feeling like the story mode is real boring, then just keep that in mind. It's not too long. I think each mission takes about maybe 20 minutes, maybe less. So just keep that in mind, that you need to complete it to get all the characters, and it's not too long, so just stick through it if you're not having fun. And in my opinion, it's not as bad as the Jump Force story mode. I said this in the first impressions video, which was that you can't use created characters in story mode, and I was partially right on that. It's just that in recollections mode, which is the real story mode, you can't use them, but then in campaign mode, it's basically just replay the story mode missions, but then it's free play, meaning that you can use whatever character you want, including created characters, and you can also play those missions co-op, so you can play with your friends and stuff. So I think I was kind of right about that, but then I was kind of wrong. So if any of you guys were wondering about that, you can still kind of play story mode with your created character, but not the recollections mode, which is what you need to do to unlock all the characters. And also the campaign mode is kind of what you need to do to unlock the characters too, because you need to defeat the characters as well, and it has to be in that game mode. So that game mode is actually really valuable. A quick tip is that you should never be you should always host it, because if you're not hosting it, then it doesn't count as your kill. Like if you want to have Juzo and you're not the host and you beat him, you aren't getting any credit for that. So just make sure you're the host, or just play it single player. I've had that happen a couple times to me where I wasn't the host and I was the one that delivered the final blow to the character. I didn't unlock them, so make sure that you're the host if you're trying to unlock characters. Before I start talking about the other game modes, I want to talk about the gameplay. Overall, I think the gameplay is fun, but I think it's kind of mediocre. Like the quality and stuff is kind of mediocre at the same time. It's still fun though. A game that I would compare the gameplay to is Ultimate Alliance. I'm not calling that gameplay mediocre, but I think like the style is kind of the same. They're both really spammy. You can just spam your strong attacks until your energy bar runs out. That's another thing, they both have energy bars. I think they kind of have similar gameplay, but I think Ultimate Alliance is not a mediocre gameplay. I think this game actually kind of has mediocre gameplay, but it's still fun at the same time. The next game mode that I want to be talking about is survival mode. This was a mode that I was really looking forward to the game, and it was a big letdown to me. It's a really disappointing game mode in my opinion. There's only 2 maps, 2 game modes, which is normal and hard, and the only difference is that the hard mode is 10 minutes instead of 5 minutes. The enemies might be more difficult as well, but I can't really tell since the round, like the game mode just keeps getting harder and harder as the minutes go on, and since normal difficulty is only 5 minutes, I don't really know if it's actually harder, because like in the first 5 minutes of each round they're kind of just the same. It's just that hard mode lasts longer and the last 5 minutes are harder than the first 5 minutes, and that's just how the other mode is too. The first minute is a lot easier than the last minute of that mode, so I don't really know if it's actually that much harder or if it's just that it lasts longer and that's why it's harder. There's only 2 maps, I think I said that before, and the maps aren't even that good. Like one of them, the enemies just be coming out of doors and climbing through the walls. It's just kind of a disappointing map. There's really no detail to it either, and yeah, so I was expecting survival mode to have more than 2 maps, the maps to actually look good, and also instead of just surviving for 5 or 10 minutes, I thought it would be survive through rounds and try and get the highest round possible, but instead it's just a timed survival game mode. I don't really like that. I think they should have done rounds and see who can make it to the highest round. That's what I would have done. I think that's what survival mode should be, instead of just who can survive for 10 minutes. So I'm going to be talking about Team Deathmatch and Point Match in the same section of the video. Both of them have 2 maps, and both the maps are different from each other. So Team Deathmatch has different maps than Point Match, and also I'm going to be talking about the rules for Team Deathmatch first, and then I'm going to be going on to Point Match. So Team Deathmatch is both teams get 16 lives. It's either 15 or 16, I can't remember, and then it has a time limit, so whoever can survive with the most lives left wins, or whoever can take out all 15 or 16 lives of the opposing team wins. I've never had that happen. I've always had the time limit reach. I think the lowest life count that I've seen in a match is like 3 or 4. So yeah, also it's really hard to find a like full lobby for both game modes. I've never been in a full lobby for either game mode. So another thing is that they don't like make you have to have a full lobby to launch up the game mode. It just needs to have 1 person on each team. Usually you're gonna want to do at least like a 2v2 or something, but that's kind of a good thing that they don't make you have to have a full lobby in order to launch the game, because you would be waiting a long time. And that's probably one of my only complaints about the game mode, and also it's kind of spammy, so you can just like spam up the strong attacks and just completely wreck somebody. It doesn't really take any skill to be good at the online or any part of the game. It doesn't really take any skill to be good at it. You can just spam up stuff, and yeah, so the only thing that I have a problem with for online, like the Team Deathmatch and Point Match, is that it's really hard to get a full lobby. I've never played in a full lobby. I've only played 1 Point Match, and it seems like it's a lot harder to get people for that one. I forgot to go over what Point Match is, so I'm going to go over that real quick. So basically, it's just teams of 4, and instead of just trying to kill the other team, basically just whichever team can score the most amount of points wins, and I think the max points a team can score is like 150k. I think that's what it is. I'm not quite sure. I've only played 1 match and neither team scored 150k, so it's just basically until the time limit runs out. So yeah, so now I'm gonna be giving it my grade, and to be honest, I've got to give this game a C-. It's not as bad as everyone was thinking it was gonna be, but then also it's not that good of a game either. This game left a lot on the table. I wasn't really expecting it to be like a great game or anything, but this game had a lot of potential to be a really good game, but Bandai just didn't give it enough attention. They even took it off the marketplace, so it's almost as if they wanted this game to fail. But I think this game isn't as bad as everyone said it was, but then also at the same time it's not that good of a game either. So that is basically it for the video, guys. Hopefully this helped you guys decide whether or not you want to buy the game. If you're still wondering whether or not you should buy the game, I definitely, like, it's a fun game, but I definitely think it's not worth $60. So if you're still like debating whether or not you should buy the game, I would wait for a price drop. It's definitely fun to play, but I don't think it's worth $60. So that is it for the video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you did. It'll help out a ton. Subscribe for more anime content, and I'll see you guys next time.